The Abbie Duggar, the wife of David Duggar, has violated a regulation that has been in place for a very long time inside the family's stringent Institute in Basic Life Principles organization. However, in contrast to her relatives who work for Counting On, it has nothing to do with the outfits that she wears. A short while ago, Abbie Duggar launched her own company which specializes in the sale of Monat hair care products. The woman, who is 31 years old and claims that she also uses the product on her curly hair, uploaded a snapshot to her Instagram stories that showed her friend's experience with the product and the results it produced. "My neighbor came over this week and we washed her hair with the products," Abbie said to me. Who else is ready for a hair transformation? Fans in a Reddit chat forum, on the other hand, were not buying it. Many of them pointed out weaknesses in the product, the marketing method, and Abbie's defiance of her in-laws, Jim Bob and Michelle. Jim Bob would be so offended by this, and it would send him to early grave. The first individual remarked, "Women aren't supposed to work," before continuing their criticism. Some others brought out the questionable reputation that Monat has in general. Abbie joined a pyramid business that sells low-cost hair products that are known to cause hair loss, scalp pain, and major damage to curls, according to one individual who criticized Abbie. An additional person inquired, "Are they still around? I thought they went under when everyone's hair started falling out. I feel so sad every time I see someone with curly hair using Monat," 1/3 of respondents stated. "My cousin was selling and using it for a while and her gorgeous curls are totally ruined. It is now common known." The cryptic post that Abbie made earlier this year was the first time she hinted to her new career in hair care. In the Instagram story picture, Abbie shared a selfie that showed the former TLC star looking at the camera with a gentle smile on her face. Above the picture, she wrote, "PSSST. I've been keeping a secret," and underneath it, she added, "And it's not what you think." After the post was uploaded to the internet, it didn't take long for the admirers to figure out what was going on. She doesn't seem the type to put up a dramatic countdown clock for her regular life events, according to a particular individual. This seems like something cooked up by an MLM multi-level marketing company. My guess is she joined an MLM or she's going to sell an online course, stated a second after that. The product that she is marketing is. A third person speculated that it was most likely shampoo or vitamins. Disrupting the boundaries. That is not to suggest that Abbie never breaks the rules on the appropriate attire for conservatives. During the beginning of this month, she took a picture of herself while she was out shopping with her sister-in-law, Duggar. While Abbie and John David were in Los Angeles, they were visiting Duggar and her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, who is 36 years old. The two women were together in Los Angeles. Duggar can be seen in the photograph extending her arm outward in order to shoot the picture, which depicts the two individuals carrying a shopping cart around a Costco. Among the treats that were packed into the cart of the TLC stars was a white tulle outfit that was intended for one of their daughters. Adding a touch of glitz to her appearance, the reality television personality wore her curly blonde hair in a ponytail and accessorized her wardrobe with jewelry and makeup. She was dressed in a pink sweater that had faux pearls on the arms, and she coupled it with black slacks that were skin-tight. According to the caption that Abbie added to the image, "Late-night Costco run with a Duggar Vuolo." The Duggar family has long been known for its strict adherence to traditional values and religious principles, with a public image of conservative living that often includes large families, modest lifestyles, and carefully controlled media appearances. For the Duggars, maintaining a close-knit family that revolves around faith, family, and obedience to the father figure Jim Bob Duggar has been paramount. However, as time has passed, some members of the family have begun to challenge these norms, pushing against the rules that were once considered immutable. One such family member is Abbie Grace Burnett, the wife of John David Duggar, Jim Bob's son. Abbie, who married John David in 2018, has recently caused a stir with her entrepreneurial pursuits, leading many to question whether her actions signal a break from the Duggar family's deeply ingrained traditions. Abbie, it seems, has chosen to launch a business that, in the eyes of the more traditional members of the Duggar clan, is not only a controversial decision but one that could have serious implications for her place within the family. Abbie's decision to step outside the carefully drawn lines of Duggar family expectations has become a topic of widespread discussion, especially after the unveiling of her latest venture, a business that some have labeled offensive and against the Duggar way. With Jim Bob at the helm of the family's strict code of conduct, Abbie's actions are seen by many as a bold rebellion and a challenge to the family patriarch's ideals. In fact, there are those within the Duggar circle who claim that Abbie's business endeavors could even be the catalyst for Jim Bob's early demise, emotionally and spiritually speaking. In this article, we explore Abbie's business move, the backlash it's created within the Duggar family, and what it means for her future as a member of the Duggar clan. A new business venture. Abbie Duggar's business venture comes as something of a surprise given the family's penchant for privacy, self-sufficiency, and limited public engagement outside of the approved Duggar image. The Duggars have been known for their strong ties to their church community, homeschooling their children, and operating within the confines of a worldview that prioritizes obedience to parents and a commitment to upholding conservative Christian values. However, Abbie's entrepreneurial spirit has led her to break free from these constraints in a way that could have long-term implications for her relationship with her in-laws. Abbie launched her business in the realm of personal wellness and beauty, a realm that, in and of itself, would raise some eyebrows among Duggar family loyalists. Her new business, focused on creating and selling skincare and beauty products, is a sharp departure from the family's traditional values of modesty and simplicity. While it may seem like a harmless pursuit to those outside the Duggar fold, this type of business is seen by some family members as not just frivolous but morally problematic. The primary concern seems to be rooted in the idea that beauty products, especially those that promote a more glamorous appearance, go against the Duggar family's modest lifestyle, which emphasizes inner beauty, humility, and deference to male authority. The Duggar women from an early age are raised with the understanding that their role is primarily within the home, caring for their husbands and children. The idea of a Duggar woman building a business based on outward appearance and self-promotion seems to clash directly with this teaching. Breaking the Duggar code. Abbie's defiance. The Duggar family has long been associated with a strict, almost cult-like set of rules that govern everything from dress codes to behavior. Women, in particular, are expected to dress modestly, avoid public attention, and adhere to a set of rigid gender roles. Abbie Duggar's foray into the world of beauty and self-promotion is seen by many as a direct affront to these values. The Duggar family's patriarch, Jim Bob Duggar, has always been the one to set the tone for how things should be done within the family. He has controlled much of the family's public image and, by extension, its business ventures. He also exerts considerable influence over the lives of his children, particularly when it comes to who they marry, how they live, and what they do for work. In the case of his sons, Jim Bob typically controls their financial dealings and career choices. The Duggar women, on the other hand, are expected to stay at home, raise children, and manage the household, often with little opportunity for professional advancement outside the family. Abbie's decision to launch a business outside the family's traditional model is seen by many as a rebellious act that challenges Jim Bob's authority. The move could be seen as undermining his role as the patriarch and the leader of the family. Jim Bob has built an empire based on strict religious principles and the idea of a traditional Christian family unit. Abbie's decision to step out of that mold could be interpreted as a rejection of everything Jim Bob has worked to create. This defiance is even more significant when considering that Abbie has often been portrayed as someone who embraced the Duggar way. Her image, particularly in her early days as a member of the family, was that of a sweet, obedient wife who upheld the same values as her in-laws. For her to take such a dramatic turn and challenge the Duggar code is seen by some as an affront not only to Jim Bob but also to the family's entire brand. The offensive nature of Abbie's business. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of Abbie's new business venture is the backlash it has caused within the Duggar family. The Duggar worldview, particularly as it is articulated by Jim Bob, has a very specific set of expectations for how women should behave. Women are expected to be humble, modest, and deferential to their husbands. The idea that a Duggar woman could actively market herself and create a brand based on beauty products, an industry that some see as inherently superficial, is seen by critics as not just a violation of Duggar family rules but an offense to their faith. In the eyes of some Duggar followers, Abbie's business is a sign of vanity and materialism. In the conservative Duggar universe, the pursuit of wealth and self-promotion are often regarded as morally suspect. Jim Bob and his family have long preached the idea that wealth should be acquired through hard work and modest living, not through the glorification of superficial beauty or vanity. Therefore, Abbie's decision to enter the beauty industry could be viewed as a rejection of these principles, making it all the more offensive to her critics. Further exacerbating the situation is the way in which the Duggar family values their public image. The Duggars are often accused of maintaining a highly curated, controlled image for the public. Abbie's decision to break away from that image and embrace a more commercial, outwardly focused career is seen by many as not just a personal choice, but a public rejection of the Duggar family's carefully constructed brand. For some, Abbie's actions are an indication that she may no longer fully embrace the Duggar lifestyle and its associated values. This departure could have serious implications for her relationship with Jim Bob and the rest of the Duggar family. Some critics even speculate that the business could strain her marriage to John David, given how tightly the Duggar family holds on to their traditions. Could Abbie's business drive Jim Bob to the early grave? While that statement may sound hyperbolic, there are those within the Duggar family's inner circle who argue that Abbie's actions could have a deep emotional impact on Jim Bob, particularly because of how it challenges his authority and disrupts the family's carefully constructed public image. Jim Bob has been known to be deeply invested in maintaining a strict set of guidelines for his children, especially regarding the roles of women within the family. Any deviation from this structure could be seen as a direct threat to his power and influence. Additionally, the Duggar family is no stranger to public scrutiny. Over the years, the family has faced multiple controversies, including scandals involving Jim Bob's son Josh Duggar. In this environment, maintaining a cohesive, unified image has been crucial to the family's survival in the public eye. Abbie's decision to strike out on her own in such a public way could be seen as an attempt to challenge the status quo. Some believe that this defiance could emotionally and spiritually affect Jim Bob, who may see Abbie's actions as a personal betrayal. While this view may seem extreme, it highlights just how much Jim Bob's identity is tied to the Duggar family's brand and his role as its patriarch. A rebellion, even from a seemingly small family member, could be perceived as a direct challenge to that identity. A family at a crossroads. Abbie Duggar's decision to launch a business that violates the Duggar family's deeply held values represents a significant moment in the Duggar family's ongoing narrative. It serves as a reminder that even in the most tightly controlled environments, there are individuals who will push against the grain, and when they do, the consequences can be profound. As Abbie steps further into the world of beauty and wellness, it remains to be seen how this will affect her relationship with Jim Bob and the rest of the Duggar family. For now, Abbie's actions are a powerful reminder that even in the most conservative and traditional families, change can be both inevitable and contentious. Whether Abbie's business will ultimately lead to a permanent rupture in the Duggar family or merely mark a brief moment of rebellion remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: Abbie Duggar's venture has sparked a firestorm that may forever alter the dynamic of the Duggar clan.